What's up, everyone? If you haven't noticed, I changed my channel name to my race name. Well, my last name and my race number. So there's that. Second thing you might notice is I'm on a different bike. I had that 2012 KLR, and I don't have too many subscribers, but the ones that follow me know I traded it in on my 2013 XT. Well, again, working in a motorcycle dealership, I think the only people that my dealership treats better than their customers is their employees. So when this came in on trade, I bought it. I missed the 650. This is an 06, so it's older. It's older than the 12 I had, but it feels similar. You know, I don't know if any of you have rode both KLRs, but it's the same, only different. You know, this one only has, well, it had 8,500 miles on it when I bought it. I'm at 8,792, which my one I traded in at 25,000 or more miles on it. Sunset today is supposed to be 6:20. It already looks so gloomy. I mean, it's maybe 10 till 6. Don't have much daylight left, but it was cold today. It's October, I think 25th or around there. And it high today is 45, so I'm cruising in the coldness. People probably look at me weird around here. Not too many people bike in the cold weather like I do, and a lot of people do in other parts of the country. Yeah, but this bike needs tires. Other than that, it had good brakes. It had it's got this tank bag on it here. There was no muffler on it. The guy that traded it, supposedly it fell off on his way to the dealership, and luckily I had my stock one from my 2012. It looks a little funny because the heat shield's different on the newer ones, but it bolted right up. I'm just out for a little cruise, enjoying the 20 minutes of daylight I have left. Maybe get some dinner, I don't know. Again, if you follow my channel at all, you see I've been posting a lot of my races for the ARMA vintage and post-vintage cross-country series here, North Atlantic, Mid-Atlantic. I think it's North Mid-Atlantic? Let's just go with that. Oh, okay. You're a real head. But, oh, back to racing. I ended up making 6 races this year, luckily. You have to do at least 6. The best 6 finishes qualifies you for year-end awards. I am an ARMA member, so I did 6 and qualified. I got 3rd in my class overall, which is the post-vintage open intermediate. So that's any bike over 201 cc's, and intermediate goes novice, intermediate, and expert. So I was glad. If you watch them videos, I chased a guy named Joe Cole, and Kevin Marshall's racing this class this year. Like, so I'm chasing them, and they act like I'm as fast as them, but they obviously always beat me. Now I really love racing them because they are, I feel like we're all like around the same speed, and I have my bike slightly slower, but I get in the woods and I can't really pass them, and they let me go because I'm riding their ass. So I'll tell you what, Kevin's quick, and Joe, it's like they both can beat me, but we all have our good days and bad days. So I got 1 first this year out of the 6 races. I beat those 2 one time, but they said I was flying. I didn't feel like I was racing any faster than I do any other race. But like I said, us 3. I mean, and there's other guys in the class, don't get me wrong, that I think only 1 or 2 other guys qualified for the year, and they just kind of been holding 4th and 5th place all year, so that's where they ended up. You know, so that's, I'm excited. This is actually the first time in my life that I did like a race here, a race there. Well, this is the first year that I did the bare minimum to do the series for the post-vintage cross-country stuff. So I did, you know, I'm just glad I finished the year and got within the top 3. But so in January we'll go to the banquet for it. The day before that, I believe, is like a vintage swap meet, I think. So it's on my birthday too this year, so I forgot a paper towel. My nose is going to be running by the time I get anywhere. Yeah, so back to this KLR. I got to lay off buying bikes for a while. I bought a bike to race next year, hopefully. But it needs completely redone, so I don't know how much money I'll have this winter to even, you know, put towards it, because I kind of have a bike. I'm kind of working on building this. It's supposed to be around like 318cc engine for my TT250. It's a YFM 350 piston. I got to get a lot of machining done. That engine needs a crank. It's a spare engine I have sitting. It's not like I had to pull it from the TT, but I'm still like, I'm into it now, so I don't want to just, you know, build it over the course of a year. I'll try to build that this winter. So if I build that engine, and I really got to get some rear suspension on that TT. If I build that engine, and you know, I might just have to run that TT again next year, and piss with the IT250 I bought when I can. I'm also out of room. I got bikes everywhere. No room to store them, and it's frustrating. Even like, you know, I work until it's dark now. I mean, it's my day off. We actually work today on our day off to catch up with assembly, because we haven't had an assembler really in a while. So we the 3 techs in the back went and assembled bikes, and the well, actually ATVs, Yamaha Grizzlies, and we did a couple Arctic Cat, the Alteras, the smaller ones, 150s and 300s. But I get off when it's dark, and when my bike's not at my little apartment, it's like I can't even work on my own. I gotta wait until my day off, and it's frustrating, you know. So I can only have like 1 or 2 bikes there at a time, because like this one might fit, but my 2012 wouldn't even fit in my door. I park one in the apartment usually. So right now the XT's in the apartment, the 82, and this one's unfortunately sitting out. So I just can't. I'm at the max limit for as many motorcycles I can own now. If I want more, I got to get rid of something. I kind of was gonna, you know, get rid of something for this, but I got a good spread right now. You know, if anything, and I told my dad this, and it's not true, but it is. It's like, if I had to get rid of any bike, it'd probably be my SR, just because it's just a 400cc street bike. You know, I can't get rid of it yet. That's the only one I'm financing, really. But well, it is the only bike I'm financing, and it's like I can't sell it yet, and it's not worth. You know, I couldn't even do a payoff with, you know, what I owe to. I'm upside down, sort of. You know, unless I got top retail for it or traded it in, maybe. But if I had to get rid of one, it would be the SR. Say they were all paid off, you know what I mean? But it's the least practical. I mean, my 82, here's the problem. I don't know if you guys know, I call my 82 XT Christine. When the speedometer was still working, it started rolling backwards, so that's what gave her name, just like, you know, the movie Christine with the car. And then after that, I tried to sell it, and I sold it to a guy out in like Beaver County, or like north of Pittsburgh, or maybe it was south of Pittsburgh. I don't know, wherever the Beaver is. And he texted. I woke up the next day to text from him saying, I didn't talk it over with my wife. I don't know if he wasn't happy. I mean, he detailed the bike. I mean, the bike looked better than when I sold it to him. So he took it home. You know, he had it all shined up. And since the deal didn't go through yet, he called the notary that we did the business on. I mean, the deal went through. He paid me. And then he even spotted me to transfer it back. Like, she couldn't undo the transfer fee. You know, it's a state thing to transfer a bike. But he basically lost, I don't know, maybe $150, and I got it back the next day. I drove down to him to deliver it, and then drove down again to pick it back up. So it's like, I can't get rid of this bike. And on top of that, it has the same crankcase, and now actually the XT has a TT piston in it, so it's basically like a spare race bike engine. It's like, if I get rid of that XT, I may as well get rid of my TT and get rid of my spare frame, my spare engine, and because I'm rolling with like 3 of those bikes right now. I got parts floating around, you know, extra wheels here, brakes, whatever. I didn't know if my visor or face shield would shut the whole way because of this GoPro mount. So that about, that's a little update on my bikes here and what I'm rolling with. Right now I'm just glad to have a KLR again, because I really wanted to like go on a trip this fall and I didn't get to. Like, there was nothing planned or anything, but I just loved when I went to Tennessee with my last one, and I don't know, it's not that good of a story to even tell, but my buddy hit me up on Saturday, like this, a month or two ago. He's like, yeah, you want to ride to Asheville and back in the day? And that's, for us, that would be like over 1,000 miles, like 1,100 miles or something. And I was like, dude, okay, So I wake up the next morning, get on my little 400cc bike, like I said, I just got this the other day. Get on my little 400cc bike and start grinding. I met him in West Virginia, so I went through the corner of Maryland, hit West Virginia, and we just headed south. And I got 300 and some miles in, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna have to call off work tomorrow if we do this, because we wanted to do it like a unofficial iron butt. We wanted to do it in 24 hours. And my shoulders were just pinned. Like, I don't know if any of you get that pain, but like in between my shoulder blades, if I rode a motorcycle too long, like on this cruising, like, I don't know if my muscles tense up or what, but I hurt. I was like 300 miles in, and he got to this gas station. I was like, dude, let's go home. And he's like, nah, I'm going to Asheville. I said, okay. And he said, put it this way, I'm gonna get on 80, I think it was 80 or 78, and head south towards Asheville. You can follow me or not? And I said, well, I'm not, dude, I'm sorry, So he jagged me about that for a while. He didn't make it in 24 hours. He put on over 1,200 miles in like 2 days. He just kind of took his time coming back. Had to hit a hotel, I don't want to have to do all that. I had like no clothes or anything with me. But, the moral of the story is, maybe if I was on something at least like this 650, I would have been more comfortable. And he's passing cars and that, dude, 400cc single SR, hey, it'll handle the highway, but you can't do like aggressive, bikes under like 600cc's and stuff can't really bang those aggressive passes that you need on like 2-lane like this. Like if a guy's holding me up and then there's a hill, there's no way I can kick down that 400, like, unless, well, here to speed limit it's like 45, but on this next road I get on, it's 55. I can't pass. Like, the bike only goes 70. So if he's going 60 uphill, there's no way I'm passing him. And then he would keep that pace, So, like, he's blowing by me. That's my buddy James on the KLR, is blowing by me, and I'm like, dude, this blows on this little 400. I'm going home, But I did say it was a beautiful day of riding. I mean, I ended up doing 600 and some miles that day. Got home. I did like 600, let's say, in 50 miles. I forget. I documented it all, but not on video. But did like 600 and some miles, and then within 12 hours, it was like 550. So I did half of what if I would have kept that pace for another 12 hours, I would have done 1,000 miles in 24 hours. And like I said, this unofficial stuff, we just watch Iron Butt challenges, and it's like, man, it's pretty cool. But this isn't one that, was registered with the Iron Butt Association or whatever it's called. It was just like, they tried to do it last year, they failed last year, and it's hard. Doing it on something small, some guys can just ride, and like I said, I get shoulder pain. I mean, I race, I do some touring, you know what I mean, like a dual sport ride, and still, when I just run like I am, like if I was just doing this for the next 2 hours, I'd need a break after like 2 hours, because my shoulders start getting tight in the center. It's like I don't know how to explain it, like in between my shoulder blades and the top of my neck. And I think it's the way, you gotta get cold or just hold your head in a certain position, and you're just stuck like this, like arms up. And I'm not like saying I tense up, but I think I unintentionally like tense my neck and stuff up. Anyhow, I probably bored you enough for today. Again, I'm losing daylight. I just wanted to show you this bike, and any of my KLR fans that didn't unsubscribe, they'll be excited to know I have one again, I guess. I'm excited to ride this first gen more, because so far I've just street rode it. You know it's going to be off-road. I mean, it's mine. I mean, I'm not going to dual sport it. That's why I got that 2013 and stuff XT. But I'm excited to just, see the difference, upgrade, obviously do some upgrades to this first gen, and hopefully have it forever. I mean, this one's like untouched. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next video.